What is up, guys? This is my bro John,
My sis Harriet.
and you guys are watching Spill It.
How important is vulnerability in a relationship? And please explain to us what vulnerability means like you as a man, because it might be different, to women.
Okay.
Kind of vulnerability.
Vulnerability can be, just letting your guard down on every aspect, mentally, physically, or just emotionally. It can be on a wide range of things. But I think it's important. This is where communication comes in.
Right.
Just talking to that person, find out who that person is and what they're about, and they can also find out what you're about, what's hurt you in the past, whatever. But don't try to project your past hurt onto that person. But for me, just let my guard down completely, because my wife, she showed me
That you can trust her.
through her actions that I can trust her.
Yeah.
So I let her into my world, not just my family life, but also to my personal stuff, like secrets that I've never told anybody except maybe this guy.
Maybe.
But there's.
Speak louder.
There's a. It's just. That's all that I have, really.
So how important is vulnerability in a relationship?
Very important. Vulnerability.
Because a lot of men are afraid to be vulnerable. Like, I think what they think about vulnerability is like crying in front of a woman, things like that. It's part of vulnerability, but it's not all of the vulnerability. It's not just about crying
You have to think,
opening yourself up.
the moment you join a relationship,
Or trying to build a relationship.
your spouse is not your enemy. You're on the same team, so it's important that both of you show.
That's why it's partnership.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why the both of you should show what cards you're holding,
Yeah.
and how you can go out into this world and face the world against whatever.
How can we build together and not
Issues you
destroy
have.
each other?
Right.
Trust each other.
Right, and try to build each other up. Don't tear each other down. Don't talk
Yeah.
whatever trash. to
How
each
can
other.
I
That's
support
right.
you? Yeah. I feel like it's very important that you don't. It's funny because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but
Go ahead.
you know Jack, right? So Jack. So Jack is a member at the gym, and then I asked him, "Oh, when's the birthday of your kids?" And then he said in December, and then he said a date in December, right? And then I was like, "Oh, it's the same birthday as my ex." And then he was like, "I hope that's not a bad thing." And then I was like, "Yeah, he's a really good man." And then he was like, "What?" He was shocked. No, he was shocked because not everyone would say that
Something
kind
good
of
about
thing
their ex.
about their ex. It's very important that you actually don't speak bad about, especially like your partner or your past partners, because it says a lot about you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
I definitely agree with that.
You agree? All right. Yo,
For you, John, what is vulnerability for you, and how important is it?
So for me, honestly, I feel like I kind of struggle with this at one point. You just have to let your walls down. You got to let that person in, invite them into your heart, your mind, your soul. You basically have to become one with that person that you are trying to start a life with.
Talk that shit. That's good shit. That's good.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to talk a little bit. You gotta let those walls down.
Yeah.
But vulnerability is important in a relationship because, like you were saying, you gotta talk to each other. It's all about communication, like you said. You gotta share those deep hidden, secrets. When you're ready, don't let your partner pressure you into them telling you.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
give and take
Yeah.
when you feel comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I feel like when you find that person that you love or whatever, I feel like those walls will come down. They'll come down. That person will break those walls down through how they treat you, how they make you feel, everything.
Break those walls down.
You know what I'm saying? So
No, I know what you're saying because I told someone I'll climb up that wall. I'm already here.
yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they truly love you, they're gonna climb that wall. They're
Yeah.
gonna break it down with with
Whatever
their energy and their
technique.
love
Yeah.
and
The love bulldozer.
yeah, the love.
Okay, well,
bulldozer,
not
boy
too
said.
much though. Not too much. Like sometimes it's scary whenever someone's just like they're too strong.
All in that shit.
You stupid. But yeah, that's really it, y'all. Like, man, just be vulnerable. I mean, at the beginning of a relationship, of course, your walls are up, but when you guys really get to know each other, let those walls down. Let that person in, especially if you feel like that's the right person for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to bring down the whole wall. Just bring it down brick by brick.
One brick at a time. Yes. One brick at a time. One brick at a
Come on,
time.
man.
What?
He said I'm preaching.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
All right, cool. What? Why are you looking at me? Okay, so vulnerability for a woman. Well, as a woman, I didn't really realize what vulnerability really means until like recently. So vulnerability, it's very important in a relationship because it's because you cannot really build with someone if you have walls, you know, like that someone is really not building with you when you're hiding some things from them. You know, like it's a give and take. It's a give and take it's a give and take of information, like about you, and it's about trusting the person enough to like show them the true you, the real you. So it's very important to me that my future partner would be like vulnerable to me, because it's a matter of, but vulnerability too, when they give me an information, I need to show them that they can actually trust me. That's very important. It's not just, okay, be vulnerable to your partner even though they're not showing you that they are actually trustworthy, you know? It's very important, like I said on the first question, it's important to me when we're laying down and we're talking, picking each other's brain, because then I get to know more about the person, you know? Like, I feel like if you're not being vulnerable with anyone, you're not really building a relationship with anyone, because who am I building with if I don't even know you, the core,
I mean,
your core.
It all comes down to trust.
And communication, like you need to not be scared to open up to your partner, or like if you feel like the other person is actually worthy enough of your trust, it's important that you actually communicate that this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm feeling right now. I think a lot of people struggle, even I am struggling with like even just friendship, like, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now. And you know, like things like, I'm mad about what you did. You know, we all struggle because we always think that we're hurting someone else, or like there's gonna be a conflict. There's like a fear of conflict in there, to have conflict with someone. But it's very important that when you're pissed at your partner, it's part of the vulnerability that you're actually, you know, honest, not rude, but like honest, that hey, this is what I'm feeling right now, how can we work this? Because you have to realize that you are human and your partner's human too. Sometimes they do things they do things that annoys you, but then they don't really know honestly that it annoys you. So if you don't talk about it and be vulnerable about it, then that's when the what do you call that?
Conflict?
No, that's when the resentment builds up, because you resent your partner because you don't speak up. But how would the other person know that they're doing something wrong and it's hurting you?
Yeah, and resentment can cause that person to use your vulnerabilities against you. So don't be naive and just tell them your vulnerabilities without, I mean, necessarily going through the whole like checklist of trusting that person first. I mean, and it also comes down to compromise.
Might fuck up a little bit.
Really?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it's right here.
Okay.
I mean, it all comes down to like, you know, like compromise. I mean, like I struggled with you know, like the whole confrontation part of like,
It's
just
hard.
being in a relationship, because I'm not like a real confrontation type of person.
I am.
Hey, bro, she cutthroat, bro, for real.
Oh my god. But I mean, that was something that I had to work on, and I knew that. I mean, I talk to my wife about this all the time. I mean, it's something that I'm also still working on, but I'm not afraid.
I feel like
to
everyone is
express
still
myself
working.
either. I mean, don't be afraid to express yourself about any situation.
Yeah, especially if it's your partner, because it's why it's called partnership. You know, love is not just about sexual relationship or date nights. You know, it's not. No,
I'm joking.
love is about partnership. You're building with another person, and the only way that you guys can support each other if you guys are open enough about your vulnerabilities, what you're really going through, your own truth. You know, like you cannot just be like not tell the other person that you're having a bad day and pretend and keep pretending.
Yeah.
You know.
And everything in a relationship can't be the other person's fault.
Yes, it's
You
a
gotta take
two-way
some
street.
responsibility too.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, and that's why a lot of marriages are failing, because a lot of people can't take accountability, and they also get married for the wrong reason.
For the wrong reasons, and they cannot express themselves. They're not open enough. They're not confident enough to actually share themselves with another person.
Are you good? I think you finished it.